Unlike the C30 and 370, I never got round to filming a boot Tetris video with the CRZ, so thought why not go out my way to show you the inner workings of the 20 valve turbo's arse end, as I'm likely the only plonker in the world working out the back of one. To help make the now LED lit space relatively presentable, I had spent a few days earlier in the year treating its old manky smelling carpets to a fully detached deep clean, which was the first time I'd done so on camera, and therefore thought it made sense to follow that up with another video illustrating exactly what that refreshed 290 odd litre space is often used for, as well as why a supposed car cleaning guru would choose that over the more spacious offerings of a commercial vehicle. And although it's far from a complete rundown of the latest and greatest, should still give you the general gist of what works for me and the cars I generally choose to spend a day at a time sprucing up. So while there's multiple ways in which the main bits of equipment can go in the boot, I had to pick one for the sake of illustrative purposes here. And that one starts with the plonking of a lone pressure washer lance from Carscope, which I use alongside the stubby gun I'd say about 50% of the time, in a convenient carpeted recess at the back. That's then subsequently concealed by my sturdy and long-serving bottle and small brush bag that butts up against the ski hatch. And while it can't carry all the chemicals I keep, is still up to transporting enough stuff for at least a few days worth of work, whether that be a varied selection of lotions and potions or a bunch of identically branded bottles if I've got a video review to do. The sizeable twin turbine Bruhl blow dryer, which I don't always make use of but is still good to have to hand, especially during the cooler months when rinse water tends not to evaporate from cracks and crevices, sits alongside that in upright fashion, temporarily detached from its big red schlong, while the same 10-metre retractable extension cable I bought when downscaling my stuff for the C30's compact boot slots perfectly into the remaining gap beside, ready for harvesting other people's electricery, which thankfully, despite its unreasonable cost in this part of the world, has never really been an issue. The beefiest bone of contention for the 25-year-old boot is the 20-odd kilo Kranzle pressure washer, which most of the time I choose to have sitting spigoting towards the bottle bag on the left-hand side, bolstered by a poverty spec foam kneeling pad, as trying to retrieve it from deeper within might do my lanky back a mischief. And while I do also have the Nilfisk that was kindly gifted earlier this year, that isn't quite compact enough to fit in with everything else, so generally keep it in situ for more home-based cleaning duties instead, like thoroughly removing the remnants of Storm Amy from the Fiat's exterior in preparation for filming this, as if I'm talking about turning up to clean people's cars in a clean car, can't be showing it casually covered in crap. The remaining free space then just about houses my wash buckets, specifically a smaller discontinued item from Maguire's for the wheels, and two larger 20 litre items from Autobrite Direct for the body, which being proper gamma seal jobbies also double up as secure watertight secondary storage for a handful of related wash and wheel cleaning bits that I'd prefer not to have knocking about loose. Then, once in place, some more poverty spec foam pads, as well as the Kranzle's heavy duty rubberised hose and the Bruhl's big floppy fun pipe are slotted, dropped and fed into any remaining gaps to help keep jiggle to a minimum. And while I could likely squeeze a few additional bits in, don't want to rock up to a job with a jammed boot lid, so tend to leave it at that for the back end, but still reckon that's a decent enough amount of equipment for the boot of an old sports coupe to comfortably stow. Now, what's kept in the boot obviously isn't everything I need, so I do have to make use of the limited edition interior too, starting with the barely used back seats which accommodate a couple of hardware and canvas bags I've had for years now, one being crammed full of freshly washed and neatly folded microfibre towels and foam pads, with the other housing chalky white polish products, protectants and other miscellaneous odds and sods I might need throughout the course of a detail. both of which are safely strapped in at the rear with snazzy red belts for good measure. I'll then either have my prehistoric machine polishers, which still work a treat for the single stage jobbies I perform, sat up front alongside my camera equipment, tripod, video camera, GoPro and drone, or some additional interior cleaning stuff for vacuuming loose detritus and steam extracting stubborn stains, as I don't have the time to do both on camera in one go, so never really need to carry all three categories of equipment at once. But just to satisfy any curiosity before I wrap things up, went ahead and crammed it all into the 25-year-old lightly worn and torn front quarter for a few illustrative shots anyway. And realistically, it didn't end up taking any more space volume-wise than, say, a shotgun riding passenger would. A decent quality rubberised boot liner like the ones I had in the C30 and CRZ likely wouldn't go amiss, and some dribble stoppers for the pressure washer couplings might be a good idea to prevent things getting damp on the drive home, which obviously has to be done a bit more tentatively than when fully laden. But whatever amendments I do make along the way, the main items and where they all reside in the car will remain pretty much the same. Now, while squeezing your stuff into an old coupe like this that's about to fail its MOT obviously ain't going to compete with the likes of a modern ply-lined and fully self-contained soot slinger, it does make things a bit more fun and informal than using a van, which I did do for a fair few years pre-YouTube, so kinda know what I'm missing and not, as well as also serving to spark car-related conversation on the drive, which is why, as someone who hypothetically needs to remain on the automotive map, I'm not about to break the decade-old habit of turning up to clean cars in a clean car anytime soon. But I will be back with my regularly scheduled programming next time to make up for the distinct lack of cleaning action in this one. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and thanks for watching this.